The term foreigner, useless today, you know. It's called migration, you know. The races start off in a little spot somewhere and have spread out over the whole thing. No one's at home anymore. Calling people foreigners, and when you're not an original of the land, and even if you were the first people to get there, hey, that's not where you started. Foreigners, outsiders. There's insiders and there's outsiders. You're either inside or you're outside. Are you in or you out? Why? Because we don't care about them, they're outsiders. We only care about us insiders. We have to take care of our own, which is basically saying F everyone else. That's who you're going to lend your support to. Someone who telling you they're part of a group that's about that group. That's why I can't be a Republican or a Democrat. Because each one is saying F the other guys. Gotta go independent because there's people on both sides you're gonna like. There's people on both sides you're gonna need. You can't just, that's prejudice or something. You know, hey, I'm not messing with him because he belongs to that party. Oh, why don't you just hold what church he's going to against him? He has that religion. Why don't you? Then you can get down to the skin if you want to. Insiders, outsiders, separatism, groupism, groupism. Is it? Groupism. Okay, you know me. I don't claim to be an English master. Not a big fan of the language. Kind of just got. It was just kind of threw on me. I didn't have a choice. No one gave me an option. They said, here's the language you're going to speak. Couldn't even formulate a why. Mind control, man. Anyway, you know, when people are worried about what you're thinking, their idea of having power or their goal for their power is to control what you're thinking. It's mind control. It's the only thing that alleviates their fear. If they fear your thoughts and they control your thoughts, they have no fear. Like in the martial arts, if you fear their weapons or their hands, and you develop the skill to control the weapons they're holding or their hands, you don't fear them anymore. Control cancels out fear. Okay? Fear is based on unknown or negative outcomes, reactions, imagination. Fear is based on imaginary outcomes. Okay? Someone imagines something's going to go wrong or something bad is getting ready to happen before it happens. And that's what fear is based on. Well, control is the opposite of that. You're not worried about what's getting ready to happen because you're controlling what's happening, or you can control what's about to happen, which leads to confidence because control leads to confidence. Fear is lack of confidence. Fear leads to lack of confidence. So, why are we gathered here together and got a wall around us calling ourselves us? Is there something outside we fear? The boogeyman, the wolves, the bears, something? So we group together and we put a fence around us and we say, hey, no one else can get in here unless we let them in. They can't just walk up and control the flow within the group. You have to be initiated. You have to be signed on. You have to pay a membership fee. You have to do something. You think you're doing something, but you're being controlled. Or we can't generate enough. There's not enough for everyone. So we're just going to take care of our own. That's all we can produce. It's barely enough. Can take care of our own. We can't worry about everyone else. Our own. Our own. And there's no such thing. Our. Us. We're ones. It's the only thing, any time you're going to ever be able to mention a group, and it'd be so. We're ones. We're all ones. And the person talking wants you to believe that your thoughts are their thoughts. And we all have one universal thought. Now, how many of you know that's a barefaced lie? And if it's true, ooh, if you're in bad shape, you're in a hive. So this group thing, the need to belong, is it the need to, the impossible dream like the quest for God that can never be attained in this mortal life, as they say? Is it that eternal dream? Is it the quest for the impossible? You know, what kind of grouping is this? They need to belong and not be alone. You're gonna always be alone. Back to the little tiny book. I wish I could remember the author. If anybody knows this book, it's called Getting It All Together. And it was a little tiny gold book I found on the ground. You live in your body alone. The closest anyone can get to you is touch you. You can spend your whole life wanting them to understand you, understand the underworkings of underneath your skin and your brain and your mind, see things from your perspective or how they play out in your head or the content of your past, but the images that you stored about your history. You wish they could see this and you want to share this with them. Your loneliness, your oneness trapped in your body by yourself. But you can't. They cannot get in your head. So useless term. They cannot. They do not understand you. They understand what you're saying, maybe. They don't understand you. They never will. It's a quest for the impossible. I don't want to be alone. Then you have a real bad problem because you're always going to be alone. You're in there by yourself. Now you can park your car next to someone, but you can't get out of your car and get in their car. And they can't ride with you. And all these attempts at talking and making conversation and books and thoughts and words, I just want them to know what I'm feeling. There's no such thing as emotions or this feeling thing you're talking about. Those are thoughts in your head. They're called feelings because they're called emotions because they have cause a physical reaction. They cause motion, tears, rapid heartbeat. You know, things that you can physically, I guess, feel. You are alone. This is not a Michael Jackson song. You are alone. You are alone in your body by yourself. Become comfortable with it. Someone screwed you up. You are alone. The truth is, you're not in your body's in you. But that can get complicated mixed with this subject. We're talking about groups. And, you know, hey, us gay people, us fat people, us black people, us white people. It's all fake. A bunch of people you pretend you're down with, but you really don't like them either. You have problems liking you, or how you become, in other words. So you really got problems with other people, especially those who haven't as came as far as you in your ideal or in your opinion. So these you don't like anyone else completely. I can understand that because everyone's going to have compatibilities and incompatibilities with everything and every person, place, situation. Okay? There's going to be situations you feel you are made for and situations that just don't fit you. Same thing with the rest of the list. So the group thing is a failed attempt. May seem cool, Boy Scouts, but you could have learned all the camping trips yourself and never had to fight with that kid, you know. But anyway, I don't really like them guys. You know how it goes. Or even inside the group. You know how you know the group isn't working? Because inside the group, you're still trying to form groups. Because you don't feel like a group. You still feel like an eye in a room full of eyes. So let's a few eyes of us get together and group together so that we all say the same thing at the same time. Maybe we could be heard. Well, what we gonna say? Let's say what I'm saying. No, let's say what I'm saying. No, we should say what I'm saying. We should say not the sign of a group, the sign of a bunch of eyes trying to manipulate some more eyes to do what I want. I'm not gonna come like that. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not that. And another thing I'm telling you, governor, president, whatever, I'm not giving up none of my businesses, fortunes, or any of these things. And if I should do something that helps everyone else in my businesses or whatever benefit too, that's why I'm glad I live here. I'm not going to do something to cancel the benefits, go to the highest offer and you get penalized for it. Nope. I'm going to keep on pursuing the dream like everyone else around the clock, no matter what my position or post. Okay? You're going to make me push the button and tell everyone this is a corporation, a company. You know that, right? And like the last guy told you, we're losing money. We're losing. We're getting ripped off. All of our customers are going somewhere else. They're going to buy from the people we were buying from, trying to sell to them. They're cutting us out. We messed around and went from providers to middlemen, and then the other guys cut the middleman out. And we're just, you know, dead in the water, man. So we have to find all new ways or go back to some of the old ways. Like I told him, man, before, get you a bubblegum machine. Put them every, and then eventually put bubblegum machines all over the world. A million bubblegum machines is about somewhere around $10 million to $100 million a day. Yeah. So so there's no such thing as there's no jobs. You know when unemployment was at its all-time lowest? Back in what you call ancient times. Why wasn't there unemployment back in those days? because people were not trying to work for someone else. They were trying to provide a service or a product and get paid themselves. And when their children got old enough, hey, we're doing this to feed ourselves, you need to pitch in. And they pitched in. If they liked the trade, they stuck with it. If they saw something else they liked, they were not held back from pursuing it like in the movies. No, you can't go to college. I need you here at the farm. No, that's not how it went. Or we wouldn't have all these trades and all these things that are now becoming extinct. You know, can you go downtown and get something wood carved, hand wood carved that nobody else has? Can you get it wood engraved? I'm not talking about just burnt in. You can get a kit and do that at home yourself. I'm talking about, can you get something customized besides your car? Ones. The group thing is not working. It doesn't work. Ones is the only way it's gonna work. You gotta sigh. You gotta save yourself. Trying to manipulate other people to your cause. They're just like you. They shy away from that, being manipulated or his cause. I got my own damn cause. So you try to find someone with a common cause. Okay? If you deal with them only at that point, you are making a good move. If you try to deal with them as a human being all the way around, go to barbecue at the house, meet the wife, doing all that, you are messing up. It's not going to last. It's not going to stand. Because your eyes, you're not really a group. I don't care if you're fraternity. I don't care whatever. That's people acting camaraderie when they feel like it, and not picking answering your call when they don't. It's not I, not like mine, not like self, not clones, not replica. We're not the same. There's two. Your mind tells you this is a fact because you were told it and you looked and it was verified. You were told there are not two grains of sand that are equal, weren't you? There's not two of anything, only ones. Why is it such a hard concept for some to get? It's the only concept they should know. What's all this crap that's been caked on top? So it can't be part of a group. The ones are going to vote. And there are issues to vote on. But man, they're the same old tired issues. We need overall voting. See, it's not supposed to be the voting of laws to a people who feel overregulated, overlawed. Whose concept, whose ideas this, who's really flying this flag. Because I haven't met one of them, and I live out here with the real, so-called real people. And I don't hear none of them crying about that crap. They're crying about, it's too many rules, man. I'm tired of all these rules. I can't breathe. I'm beginning to feel like a slave. We don't need martial law as long as we got all these trees in our way. You know what we mean by trees in our way? Paper. In case you forgot, that's what it is. So when paper's in your way, it's the same as being blocked by a bunch of logs, which are a bunch of dead trees. You have to climb these mountains of papers and paperwork, as they call it. You have to cut these logs and get past them. That's not a welcome thing to a person who just want to travel freely forward. And the excuse you give, always the same cause of all the problems. We only have one problem. Some people don't act right, so we have to put restrictions up for everyone. Now they're grouping you without your permission. It's not your fault that guy's crazy or that there are crazy people who do this. I don't. Why should I be penalized for something I don't practice? You got me on film or any or me doing it? No. Now, I think if you get caught doing this, then those restrictions should be placed on you and only you, which means I should be free. And we have spotters for those who are their idea of freedom is insane because their freedom st- stops someone else's freedom to live, to go, or do whatever. You can't just kill someone and step on their right to be free and live and do what they want. So, as the rule goes, you have the right to do whatever you want, as long as it doesn't conflict with someone else's right to do what they want. That works as long as you don't have any crazies in the mix. See, crazy people don't have to have a real reason or sound reason for anything they do because they're crazy. Because I want to. Sounds like a sound reason to them until you ask them, well, what is actually want? Can you tell me what want is before you telling me you're doing it or that you do it? Can you tell me what that is? And see how stuck on stupid they look. So back to the point, groups. Nah, it's the opposite. It's the opposite of what everyone's been crying about ever since I got here. And that's been over half a century ago. Unity. No, groups won't do that. Groups are segregation. They're the illusion of unity. But if you check out their framework, if you check out their ingredients, if you check them out, they are not unity. They don't lead to unity. They lead to disunity, a bunch of separate groups. That's not unity, okay? That's not united. That's grouping. And this attempted group don't work. So they only attempt it when there's something they really want to achieve, such as impossible dreams of I don't want to be lonely. I'm lonely. Get used to it. The feeling will reoccur over and over and over, no matter how much wealth you have, no matter how many employees, no matter how many plaques you have on the wall. This feeling will still keep coming back over and over and over. What is the cause of it? Not how many people around you or how many people you can be around. They don't understand me. No one understands me. Causes this feeling, loneliness. Your goal should be to come to grips with that. It's an eternal thing. They will never understand you, and you will always be alone. You will always be in your body, and they will always be over there. They can hug you, they can kiss you, but they can't get in there. And they will never understand you no matter how much you talk. That's what you think talking is good for, making people understand you. I can get my thoughts out my head. But people, the sound game, the word game, what you call the language game, does not get that done. It does not get that done. It does not get your thoughts from your head to another person's head, or you would not be still feeling misunderstood after everything that you said. can shoot the whole dictionary at them. It's not going to work. Here's where it goes wrong. Listen. What do you hear? And what do you see in your mind? Birds. Okay? When you hear a sound, the image that appears in your mind is supposed to be a picture of what's making that sound. When it comes to this made up sounds you make, language, people all over everywhere have made up different sounds for just birds. They're not called birds elsewhere. They have different names, different sounds. So you get a picture, not another sound is not supposed to come to your mind. You're supposed to get a picture image of these things you call birds, not the word bird ain't supposed to pop in your mind, or the word or another sound like bird is not supposed to pop in your mind. Just simply what it is that makes that sound. By any language, the picture is the same. So making someone understand you through language is not what you were told it was. So just like conquest of God, you hear that sound? What do you see in your mind? A car. You hear a car engine, you see a car. That's how your mind's supposed to work. Now, you ain't not supposed to see the word car or the sound car. You're just supposed to see a picture of the vehicle. And someone has got in the middle of your thought processes with these sounds, these other sounds for a sound. Things make the sound they make already. That's their name. The sound they make. Like fingerprints, they all make different sound, even someone walking. Okay? The different types of walk make different sounds. Are they clocking? Are they tipping? Are they are they sliding? Scuffling? And it's all kinds of walks. So when you hear a sound, you're supposed to get a picture of that thing. You hear a car, you're supposed to see the automobile. It's not, see, in different countries, it's got different words for that same thing. So you're not supposed to hear words that slow down your thinking process. You're just supposed to see in your mind the the object. So this language thing slows down your thought process, and you think it's going to speed it up. I'm going to make them understand me. I'm going to take the pictures in my mind, I'm going to put them into words, and I'm going to shoot these sounds to them, and they're going to understand what I'm thinking. How's that working out for you? How's that working out? Talking to people. Do they understand you now? Nope, they don't. And you don't know why. But now you do. Well, now you can figure it out for yourself now. You've been given the tools. Just keep rewinding until you get it. So, you're in your body by yourself. You will never be understood. They will never see things the way you see them. To try to do that is like trying to wrap your arms around God. It's not going to happen. And wishing you could wrap your arms around God, if you try to do that, it's going to put a strain on your arms. Wishing that you could see God is going to put a strain on your eyes if you try to do it. Wishing that you could do anything when it comes to God is ludicrous. Think of it this way. You can't do none of those things to the sun that you're hoping to do to God. You can't hug the sun, kiss the sun, and get near the sun even. Now, aren't you aware that this thing you call God is greater than the sun? You could not get nowhere near God for your own safety. You're dreaming impossible dreams that someone put in your head, and they didn't even have no pictures or no sounds to give you. They didn't have no real sounds or pictures to give you to do it with. They got these artificial sounds, these words. They give you words for cartoons and made up images. They didn't give you no real sound. They can't tell you how God sounds, what sound God makes. Tell you what sound nature makes. and tell you God looks like, even though they tried to fake it to those who fell for it. That's what I'm saying about the second cause of insanity. Remember all us who were told Jesus was white? Remember that? It made those people crazy, telling them something that's not true, that they find out is not true. Hair like sheep's wool, and all this, no. And you can say, oh, our curly hair is what they're talking about. What about the rest of the description? And you can stay in the sun all you want. It's not going to happen. So, like I said, a sound is supposed to match that is making the sound. Language is something else altogether. Sounds that have nothing to do with the thing that you are perceiving, or so it's used for trickery and games because it's not real. It's developed to manipulate ones into thinking things like we are a group. We all speak the same language. That makes us a group. No, you're still ones. Still ones. And you know what else? You know, you're always going to be an I message. But so let's make that clear. This group thing is an action. Root word is an act. What is an act? Behavior. And it's the same act you see on TV. A chosen behavior. You know? You write a quick script in your mind and you do the moves that you just saw in your mind. That's an action. It's acting to bring about an outcome. Sometimes it's an impression in another mind. That's a form of manipulation. To make someone else think what you want them to think. A lot of these actions are geared toward that. The movements don't actually serve a specific purpose or beneficial purpose. They're there to give what you call an impression in someone's mind, which means an implant in someone's brain to cause a thought in their head, just like the language used to put what they want in your head. This is what their actions lead to. And sometimes it's not intentional, such as an accident puts something in your mind too. So emotions of others should only just put an image of what happened. It should not lead to a long list of words tied to a long list of other associated actions. See, they not only make up these sounds, they make up an action to go with it. And when I push this button, when I give you this sound, this is what you think. I taught you this from birth. When I say this sound or you hear this sound, think this. Not when you hear a siren, think about a fire truck. When I say fire truck, think about a fire truck. You understand? Made there to control you. That's what the group is for. The controlling of more than one by one or more. To get a bunch of ones to move in a prescribed direction or in a prescribed way and manner such to make a group doing for their groups are created for an action to be achieved. The game is they are told the only reason they join the group is we're here so everybody's objectives can be achieved. All the ones can be achieved. But first, let's take care of the group's overall objective, which is always the group founder's overall objective, not the group. But his soul is the reason we're all here. No, we all here because we want someone to listen to us too, not just you. Don't come to my party. I'm not here to listen to you. I end up telling you you're insane over and over like I have. You should know that by now and be working on it instead of over there trying to share and spread your insanity to me, telling me what you think or your your opinion. I don't like the smell of either hole. Fix yourself. In order for you to go to the voting booth, it doesn't have to be a million of you. It doesn't have to be the Democrats we're going to vote. When you go in there, you're by yourself, man. It's not millions of us. Republicans, the Democrats, no, our group, no. There's just you. And if I try to tell you what to do, that's what you're in the booth voting against. That's why you're in the booth. You really don't want no one telling you what to do, except if you ask for their advice. See, that's how management was supposed to work. Your government is supposed to have all this information and stuff available in case you needed it. But it had to charge you for the cost of collecting the information. So it's like, okay, I understand the taxes for the highway and stuff, but I can't understand there's too much tax. No, there's not. They're scrimping, trying to find ways to get more, do more taxes because there is not enough. The cost is greater than the income. In other words, it's costing more to run the company or the country than which everybody's being taxed. It's costing them more to run this operation than what they're charging the people who benefiting from it, who's benefiting from the highways and all these other things. They're out to complaining and crying. So there's no such thing as taxes. Ugly word that rhymes with axis. Nobody wants that. Don't come at me with no axis. Like most of them words that sound like that. It's operating cost. You got to pay cost to run to be the boss. In order for you to run your business, you need these roads and these services. You need this information that's available for free, as you call it. How can what are you doing for free? Can you function your business for free? No. When they tell you something is for free, that's because it's covered by what you're being charged in taxes. Nothing's free. You know that. This causes a conflict in your mind. They're lying to me. The government's lying. Get the government out your head. Put management in there. Get taxes out your head. Get operating costs. This is how you see them. They're your silent partners at 20%. Without them, you could not do what you do. So just make a column over there saying I got to give Sam 20% for everything they do for me and everything I can call on them for. Good thing I don't have to give them half, like some people. See, there are some people, they're in the 50% tax bracket. Whoa, pay the 20%. You're getting off light because they could be your full partner when you think about what you rely on them for. You don't have no mail service. You don't have no garbage service. You don't own no pipelines. You don't want to pay for electricity, but you want the wires to connect to your house. I understand the mentality. So I'm telling you, you're mental. It's mental problems. It's not thinking right. And that's what we're saying. All the problems lead back to one problem: someone not thinking right. And someone else thinking what they're thinking is right. So we're going to put a rule in place to make sure that people who aren't thinking right can't make actions that's not right. No, you need to fix them people's brain, not put up a fence. Crazy people will jump over a fence. It's not going to stop them. See, you're insane. We're gonna put we're gonna put a divider down the middle of the street. You stay on that side, and you stay on this side. That's not good advice for people who are legally and clinically insane, who nowhere in their history have shown that they could stay in their lane. Millions, hundreds of millions of bodies later, you still don't get that. All the people who done died on the highway, you still don't get that a piece of some paint down the middle of the road is not a good idea. It's not a preventive measure. You can't conceive of a better road because this idea was stole too. You know who invented the paved road and the traffic light. You can't believe a group of ancient evil people set the mode of what everybody get up and does every day today. I'm not cool with that. I didn't give them no permission to dictate my life, no nothing, set no rules, do nothing. Either all this stuff is adjusted right now, or I'm about to bounce outside of all law and rules and claim sovereignty. I'm not going by something but some barely a past a caveman dude thought of for me that's choking us all to death. Founding fathers were premies. Maybe smart for premies, but still premies. They were still primitive. Either way you slice it, we can do better. My children could do better than them. They wouldn't stand a chance in a conversation with a 5-year-old right now. Not one of these great geniuses from the past. That kid would shut them down. So, I don't cool with them done designed and set out my whole life and to my death. I'm not cool with that. So we're going back to the ones. The formula that was attempted when they made this place. In the last place. In the place before that. See, we claim this place is better than all the places before. Well, it's time to make it better than all the places before, even this place. Or I'm going some other place. Because I'm not selling for this. None of us are. No one is. Not one is selling for this. Nobody's happy with the way things have turned out. You know why? Most of them are struggling. And even those who attain wealth are struggling to keep their sanity. And they're not doing so good. In order to maintain that wealth, they must employ whew, large numbers of insane people. Insane things happen. Wrong thinking causes wrong actions. You know, we're in a group. We all work here. We have a union. I'm not coming to your union telling them the steel workers are the backbones of America. Then go to the convention for electronics and tell them, hey, nerds are what make the world go round. Everyone's on to that game by now. They're on to that. And anybody campaigning on that sour note right now is lost. They lost the election as soon as they start talking about what bills they're fighting for. As soon as they start talking about the tax cuts. As soon as they start trying to give any particular people this no job as a group of being the backbone or their main interest, it's over with. Because it's cliche. It's been done so much in real life that it's been done too much in the movies. We don't even want to see. In the movies, the crowd will frown at you and start saying derogatory things and throwing things at the screen if that's the character you portray in the movies. The character that these so-called candidates with their $1 million hairdo and whatever. Feel me? No, 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 no. My Native American look will do. My homeless look will do. My golden man will do. The MJ look. The spaceman look. Any look I choose to look is still me. And anyone judging by looks has issues. Serious issues. So like those who judge by language and how well you speak it. They have a mental glitch. Probably a lot of them. I'm gonna stop calling them problems. Call them glitches. Okay? There are physical mental glitches and there are informational mental glitches, which are put in your head through your senses. You being born with a chemical imbalance is physical. You being told there's a Santa Claus, no, they're not, is informational. It gives room for you told me it was a God, maybe there's not. Like Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny and the Tooth Fairy. Maybe God is just something they made up. Now you done lost them over there. I only allow those things because my teacher said you got to go to kindergarten before college. And I remember the path I came on. I believed a lot of things that were plagiarized from the truth and added on to for some selfish means of some group, really someone, and a bunch of dummies who gave up their oneness for this person's thought. I'm not doing that. Everyone save yourself. Everyone can't tell what a sound is. Listen, okay? You can't tell what that is because you weren't supposed to tell the whole object. You weren't supposed to see the man or the whole object. You hear wheels turning, and your mind knows what wheels turning sounds like. Now, if you'd started the engine, you would know it was a lawnmower. And the point they were making by everyone can't tell by sound is mute because they can. It is the natural communication. Animals don't speak your language. They see what you're picturing in your head. Test them. Instead of telling them next time, think it. And see, don't they still know? Why going like they can learn 1,000 words. They can pick up on your body language and your tones. Three T's. So raise your awareness so you can make intelligent and out-intelligent choices. No more thinking of things by the wrong word for you. No more taxes, operating costs. Okay? It's not votes, it's choices. Okay? They said if the same people make the same choice, this is what we'll do. Just always remember these are the choices that someone is giving you. And you can add choices to the list. No one teaches you about that part of the voting process. How do you get things on the ballot? Only those with a cause go through the trouble of finding out how, but you all can do it. Anytime what you think should happen is not written there amongst the choices that are being made concerning you, you can add that choice to the list. So what this administration is going to do is send out information to everybody else, like they're always sending you the junk mail. They're going to send you information telling you how what you say can make it onto the ballot. How you, as a one, can have actual input, the methods and probably the actual form for doing it. Ask you what it is you think should be done about everything. That's the difference. That's the difference in finally someone that's concerned and that got the right concept. See, the ocean is composed of water drops, not big oceans. $1 billion is made of pennies. Ones are the building blocks of everything, and not identical ones. The atoms aren't the same. The sand, dirt, blades of grass, leaves, nothing. They're all ones. So there is no leaves. There's just a bunch of leaves. You get it? This concept of leaves is implanted by someone wanting you to feel common cause so they can tell you the woes of one are the woes of all, which is theoretically impossible. No, we say nothing is impossible, but the odds are so great against everyone having the same thought at the same time. It may never actually happen. It can happen, but it may never actually happen because the odds are so great. If something occurred in the sky and we all could see it, we would not think the same thing. But we can have a similar, what you call, reaction, such as all our different thoughts lead to fear, but everyone won't even fear it. Some people are so insane or so high, they will say, whoa. They won't even be scared. Another person will drop dead. This is it, Judgment Day. I'm out of here. We will not react the same. I don't care what you can imagine. So I see plans that primitive evil men put in place, and even they didn't know how big this snowball was going to get. They were trying to manipulate the township. 13 colonies most. They had no way of predicting this. Don't give them too much credit, like they're Satan themselves. I ain't never met the devil, and I feel just like my teacher. If you were really worried about the devil and he was a threat to everyone, that's common cause right there. How come you don't form a big group and go hunt him down and kill him? All these superhero movies and all these monsters being took down. If someone was out there and they was a threat to everything alive and everyone it is, how come you ain't formed no group? Tracked them down like Bin Laden and killed them. Yeah, that part. How come you didn't go grab his church and hold him hostage and say, tell me where the devil is at or I'll kill you? Or I'll do whatever they're paying. How come no one's done that? It's all cartoons, dude. Make believe. Hocus pocus. It doesn't make sense. Means it doesn't match up with what your senses are telling you. Sorry to bust some bubbles. And that's not my opinion. That's what is. It's not is because I say it is or say it's not. Is does not work like that. Is whether anyone ever says it. It's still going to be is. It's still going to be so. Is not right or wrong. It's just the way it is. Is can be changed. But it won't be is anymore. Reality is not the right word. Real is not the right word. Is. So maybe. So ones, save yourself. I promise you a sigh from relief. If you just save yourself, S-Y, sigh. The tools have been put in place. It will be awful. I mean, let me explain why one would do something for other ones. There's no way I can make the air fresh just around my body. I'm going to come as close to that as I can in the future, but I can't discuss that. So it was about cleaning up the air. Man, independent, individual, ones. It's the only group. There's things I just chose not to reveal right now. We're connected. We're connected. What kills you kills me too. What hurts you hurts me too. Once I fixed it, what I'm gonna do with it after I've used it. So I figure, hey, everybody can use it. See, I have to live in this world. You're all broken. I'm not happy. So in order to fix the world and make myself comfortable in the world, everyone had to be fixed.